What's up, War Report family? We are back with another great edition of Facts and All. Listen, I'm excited about today's Facts and All. We are going to have the rapid fire questions coming directly at you. Fellas, are we ready to do this?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go.
Facts or All, including both their collegiate and professional career, Charles Barkley is the most successful athlete in Auburn history.
I am going to say nah on this one. That distinction goes to one Cameron Newton. Actually, we all know what Cam Newton has done. Beat Bama in the great comeback game, won the SEC championship, won the Heisman Trophy, won several awards, even won a national title, went on to prove a lot of people wrong in the pro level by being a two-time Pro Bowl, two-time Pro Bowler. He also went on to win league MVP and played in the Super Bowl. A very successful career. There's a lot of other guys who've gone on and had great playing careers in other sports, but I'm going to go with Cam Newton as being the most successful athlete in his playing career at Auburn and in the professional league.
I am definitely going nah on this one. Like Caesar, I'm going to have to go with Cam Newton here. I think that when you take both college and pro into account, the Heisman Trophy puts Cam over the edge for me. He led the league in rushing that year as a quarterback at over 1,400 yards rushing and completely carried his team both in college and in the NFL, because that 2015 Panthers team, his MVP campaign, there wasn't a lot of talent around him. His number one wide receiver in Kelvin Benjamin tore his ACL before the season started. They went 15-1 in the regular season. You cannot point to a lot of teams that have gone 15-1 in NFL history. They made the Super Bowl. They lost to a great Denver team that year, but I think, all things considered, right now, while his career is still going, Cam Newton is the most successful Auburn athlete.
I'm going to say facts. We know Charles Barkley did not win an NCAA championship at Auburn, but basketball, football, world of difference. All right. I don't even want to get into how much more competition there is in basketball than football. In football, we're down to about 5 leagues. One of those leagues doesn't really have a chance to win it. So you're down to about really 2 or 3 teams across about in 3 different leagues apiece. Listen, it was an amazing accomplishment, and we're glad Cam did it. But Barkley, what he did on the court at Auburn was equally as phenomenal, equally as breathtaking, and he did it for more years than Cam did it. Now, I know that Cam, it was in his best interest to only do it for 1 year and go take advantage of what was out there. But 1 for 1, great year. Barkley, 3 great years. In the pros, Barkley had a higher ceiling for a longer amount of time than Cam has had. I think we're all seeing Cam on the decline. We want to see him do well. Hopefully he manages to get a chip up there in New England, but I cannot take away the excellence over a sustained amount of time. Consistency is key, and that's why Barkley is the best athlete in Auburn history. Facts.
Listen, I'm going to go facts here. Charles Barkley, the best. Listen, B. Will already talked about his collegiate career. I think that it is probably edge Cam Newton in the collegiate career, but I'm going to have to edge Charles Barkley by a larger margin in his professional career. Both of them have gone on to be MVP caliber players in their professional career. Both of them have gone to world championships in their professional career. Charles Barkley has an Olympic ring, as an Olympic medal as well. Charles Barkley, to me, has been at the top of his profession for longer. Maybe when Cam's professional career is done, he'll be able to be that guy. But 1 year at Auburn and only really 2 stellar years in the league do not equal to Barkley's 3 years and his, I don't even remember how many years he played in the NBA, but Charles Barkley is the winner. Facts.
All right, guys. Facts or nah? Brian Harsin gets a raise and a new contract if Auburn wins at least 10 games this next season.
Nah. And maybe this is me just being hopeful that our administration has learned their lesson. But listen, you got the guy in for a 5-year contract, I think it was. let him earn the next contract. You got him for this rate. He agreed to it. We think we've seen enough of a guy having one great year and then getting rewarded for it repeatedly over and over again. Hopefully, you let him get a 10-win season, which will be great. We talked about it on our shows. That will be phenomenal. Past our wildest dreams for the first year. That doesn't mean he's going to be great the second year or the third year. Get him in on his contract you got him on. Let him earn a big raise later. He's got plenty of time to do it. Nah.
Listen, he's got enough incentives in this contract that there's absolutely no reason to go and renegotiate this contract after 1 year, even if he wins 10 wins this year. If he goes undefeated this year, I don't want to see them renegotiate this contract. I want to see sustained success at the coaching position before we go and start throwing more money at guys. Brian Harsin is being paid well right now under the current contract. There's absolutely no reason to pay him more money, even with a successful season. Nah.
I'm going hell no. If we didn't learn our lesson from 2017, I don't know what to say about that. Listen, I think that Allen Green is a smart and talented guy, and I think that, looking at what we've done in the past, that you have to show a sustained pattern of development, winning, and recruiting before you earn a new contract. Listen, Brian Harsin isn't making chump change. He's still in the top 20 of coaches paid in college football. So I don't think it is too much to ask that we can see that he will show a pattern of being able to keep up 9 to 10 wins a season and not consistently lose to our rivals before renegotiating a contract. So beat Georgia, beat LSU, pull out a win against Bama every other year, and then I'm all for it. But you can't do that in one season, so I'm going nah on this one.
All right, I'm going to go clean sweep and say nah here as well, and I hope we've learned from past mistakes. Listen, it's been said that it takes 3 to 4 years to determine what kind of program a coach is actually building. We should not get locked in on a coach after year one, even after seeing some success. It's happened to us in the past, and we've lived to regret it. So I'm hoping under Harsin, even if he does have a 10-win season, that the administration actually takes a wait-and-see approach to see if he's actually building towards something, or if year one is fool's gold. I hope that's not the case, but I hope the administration makes better decisions as opposed to the decisions they've made in previous years with previous coaches.
Okay, fellas, facts or no, Auburn will have at least 2 500-yard rushers this 2021 season.
I'm going to go facts here, and that's pretty much because the offense is going to be centered around the run. The coaching staff has been talking about it. The players have been talking about it. They want to be a downhill running team, and we've seen last year that Auburn was at its best when it's running the ball. So assuming that Tank Bigsby stays healthy, Shaun Shivers stays healthy, I believe that you're going to see at least 2 500-yard rushers this season. I'm going facts here.
Yeah, I say facts. I think it's safe to say we've got some questions at quarterback and offensive line. And if you can't protect the guy throwing it, take some pressure off of him, run the ball. We've got Tank, sure. Shivers is physical enough. He's impressing the coaches. He's going to get his snaps. This coaching staff will want to keep Tank healthy and fresh. So I don't think he gets run into the ground, which should open up plenty of opportunities for not only Shivers, but the other 2 backs we have as well. Facts.
I'm going to go facts on this one as well. Listen, this is more optimism than anything else, because let's just think about this. I fully expect for Tank Bigsby to have at least 1,500 yards rushing this season, right? That would mean that if we do not have another 500-yard rusher, that means that someone else on this team is not carrying enough of the load for the remainder of those snaps and not being effective enough to give him the break that he's going to need throughout the season. And if our combined rushing between Tank and some other person is not 2,000 yards at minimum, then we are not being effective on the ground. And that means we have been throwing the ball entirely too much this season, something I don't want to see. So I'm going facts just off the fact that it needs to be that case.
I'm going facts on this one as well. But the second 500-yard rusher will be the quarterback, right? I really believe that, there's going to be a sustained emphasis on creating plays with the super athletic quarterbacks that we have, whether that's Bo Nix, who is a proven runner, or Demetrius Davis, who I expect to eventually win the backup job. He's also a dynamic dual threat athlete. So I think that 500 yards rushing for a quarterback in this day and age of football is not anything that's too out of reach. Tank is certainly going to hit 500 yards this season. I expect our quarterback to do it as well, so I'm going facts here.
All right, fellas, facts or no? The kick six is the best walk-off win in college football history.
As homer as it's going to sound, I'm going to go with facts on this. Listen, the improbable nature of that win is just something that you can't match. It wasn't for as high stakes as we've seen in other walk-off wins in the history of college football, but I still think that it was the best one. It was just, you had to be there. If you were there and you witnessed it in that moment against your biggest rival, it really gave us an opportunity to go to the national championship that year. I think I'm going to go with facts.
I'm going to say facts here as well, just because of what was riding on this game. This was the last year of the BCS. And so this was basically a play-in to basically get into that championship game. Rivalry game. No one saw this coming. Everyone was for certain that that game was going into overtime, and then that play happened, as opposed to other plays where you actually could have been, the other team could have won. So I think this is definitely it. Now, I hear that there was some game that Bama had against Georgia where I think they won in overtime. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to look into that. But until then, I'm going facts. I'm not a homer. But I'm going to go facts that the kick six is the best walk-off win in college football history.
Listen, I'm going all facts on this one. Name a game where there was actually more on the line than in the kick six game. 1 versus 4. The winner is going to the SEC championship and then eventually on to the BCS national champion. And then name a game that ended in as unique a way as this one did. A field goal returned over 100 yards for a touchdown to beat your rival in a play-in for the national championship game. I don't think it's a question. I think the kick six is the best win in Auburn football history, in college football history, and ESPN agrees with me because it won an ESPY for exactly that. Facts.
Yeah, you know what it is. Facts. Listen, it wasn't just that we beat our rival. We beat our rival who was undefeated. We beat our rival who we got sandblasted by the previous year. We were coming off of a winless SEC season the season before. The turnaround itself was a story. The win was a story, but to win in such an improbable fashion. Listen, that was an unbelievable game. You had to be there, like Ike said. And even, I want to dispute this, Caesar, somebody had to lose their championship game for Auburn to get in that time. That was one thing that you'll remember, because I was hoping and praying that we did not get in that championship game because I didn't think we were going to win it. But either way, that was still the best walk-off college football win. Facts.
All right, War Report family, we are back with the fan question of the week. You all submitted some great questions this week, but the one that we're going to highlight this week comes courtesy of SJVS World Tour, and he tweets at us, facts or nah, Coach O, that's Coach Ogeron for those that don't know, will be on the hottest seat in the SEC this coming season. What are we feeling?
I'm going on this one. Listen, he's got a talented quarterback room this upcoming season. They clearly showed improvement mid-season toward the end of the season. They pulled off the big win versus Florida, although Shoegate helped them. But ultimately, he started a true freshman quarterback that played well in that game. I'll be interested to see who ends up winning the starting job, Miles Brennan or Max Johnson. They've got a ton of talent. They've been recruiting top 10 classes. I fully expect them to continue to be a formidable force in the SEC West. So I'm going nah, unless they go, 5-5 or 500 or whatever. He's not going to be on the hot seat. Nah.
I say facts. Because let's think about who should be on the hot seat. We got new coaches at South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, at roughly new coaches with Lane Kiffin and Leach at Mississippi State. There aren't enough coaches at teams with expectations for there to be anybody else on the hot seat. We just got a new coach. They're not going to run him out of town if we have a 7-5 year. They're going to give him some time. Coach O had phenomenal talent because LSU always has. He had a national championship, and then he took, honestly, too far a step back for what that talent is that he has there. He may not be on a extremely hot seat, but whose seat is going to be hotter? Because he's got to at least prove that last year was a fluke and not the norm. I think that fan base is going to be looking for some double-digit wins, maybe even some SEC West berths, and I don't think they're going to get it, so I'm going to say facts.
I'm going to say facts, but it's all relative because I don't think his seat is going to be all that hot. Like B said, you have a lot of first-year and second-year coaches, and the guys who will remain in the SEC who've been coaching longer than that are doing relatively well at their schools. I think with Coach O, he's going to be out to prove that his championship year wasn't necessarily a fluke because of the coaching staff and talent that he assembled. I think he has a lot of talent in place to actually still be a success. But I think if we're talking about who the hottest seat is in the SEC, I would go with him. But I don't think it's really all that hot at the end of the day. So I'm going facts.
I am going to go nah on this one. Hear me out. All right, so the only coaches, as we've already stated, that even have a possibility of a hot seat at all are going to be Jimothy, right? He ain't going nowhere. Nobody really expects Texas A&M to do anything absent of him. You're going to have to look at freaking Nick Saban, whatever, right? Then you're going to have to look at Kirby Smart, Coach O, and then the guy that coaches down in Florida, Dan Mullen. Where I'm thinking the hottest seat is going to be is in Florida, actually. Because I think that Florida has been perennially underachieving with the amount of talent that they've had. And the SEC East has been wide open. And Florida really only broke through this last year. So I think that, you know, with Mullen there, he's going to have a little bit warmer seat because I do fully expect LSU to have a bounce back year this season. So with Florida dropping off a little bit more and Georgia coming back up to be the SEC East champs, Dan Mullen's seat will be the hottest. I'm going to go nah. Okay, that's another great edition of Facts or Nah for you all. We appreciate all the questions that you all have been submitting. Keep doing that because we want to hear from you. If you want to hear your question featured right here on Facts or Nah, you need to tweet at us, #Facts or Nah, @The War Report. As always, you need to follow us on all this social media because we are going to be stepping up our social media game as we get into the fall. We are The War Report on Instagram and Twitter. We are also TW Report on TikTok. That's it. We are out of here. As always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.